So I was inspired to do this video because I'd seen a trainer the other day with his client, and he asked him, what is your most problematic area? And this gentleman said his stomach, and he was quite an overweight gentleman. And the trainer had actually given this crazy long abdominal workout, and he was in there the entire time I was in there and longer, and I was training chest and back, two major muscle groups. And it just got me thinking that kind of methodology has been in the fitness industry for so long, and I'm so surprised that so many people are still carrying it on and not being honest with their clients as well. They'll probably leave that for another video, but in a sense it is exploiting them because you're not telling them the truth. And as a trainer, you are embodying that teacher role, that you are providing them with science-centered information that is valuable to them and is based on truth. It isn't based on lies, mythology, and crazy mythos and legends and whatever else. It's based on science. And it's tried and true, and it's backed up by research and stuff like that. And I did do another video on spot fat reduction, talking about some more of the science of it, which I'll leave in the description box below if you want to check that video out. The main point is, though, I really think that we need to be a lot more honest with ourselves, and trainers should be the people speaking truth into the community. Not just that, everyone else should be as well. But as well, just that mythology that if you train a muscle with resistance, that you are losing fat off the area is a complete lie. Losing fat and gaining muscle are two separate entities. Now, just to clarify, for example, when someone is when someone's embarking on a weight training program, they're training the body with resistance training, you will typically, if you are in a calorie deficit or you're in maintenance, you probably will notice that you will lose quite a lot of weight because you are essentially building more muscle mass, meaning that you're burning more calories at rest. So the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn. So you can see where this is coming from. So if you're burning more calories and you are in a calorie deficit, you are going to essentially lose fat. And as you're gaining more muscle while losing fat, which can happen, typically more so in beginners, but say if you are maintaining your muscle mass while in a calorie deficit, which is more common, or if you've been exposed to weight training for the first time and you're in a calorie deficit, you will notice the definition on the muscle. You'll see it more shaped, it's more sculpted, but don't be confused that by training, say, your bicep with a bicep curl, that you're losing fat off that area, or if you're training your quads doing squats, that you're melting fat off your legs like some kind of shrink ray, and you're disintegrating all the pockets of fat on your body. That is a lie. Like you can't actually do that. That hasn't been proven in science, and that isn't validated. What happens is that most people, probably unknowingly sometimes, when they embark on a weight training program, that they're probably not eating enough food anyway, and then by doing this weight training on top of that, you're burning more calories at rest, and you typically start losing more fat as a result. That goes without saying. But usually when you're losing fat, the muscle definition becomes more prominent, so you might have that illusion that you're packed on a ton of muscle, but really sometimes you are just maintaining the muscle and losing the fat in that area, or across the entire body. And, when we lose weight, when we put ourselves in a calorie deficit, when we're eating less, we are losing weight from our entire body, and the body just sees energy where it can be used. It finds that stored energy on our body, known as our fat, to burn for it to use as fuel. But we don't have this conscious control over it. It's just it goes wherever it feels necessary. And oftentimes, with people's stubborn areas being their stomach, for example, or their thighs, or their love handles, whatever it is for you, depends on your body type, or just depends on your genetics, period. It will go to the stubborn areas typically last. For example, mine is my stomach and my face, and it usually takes a lot longer for me to reduce the body fat in them areas. I've heard some science of being that because of blood flow and things of that nature, but just to keep it simple on this video, typically all you have to do, if that is the case, so for example yours is your stomach as well, I would never tell you as your trainer that I would give you more ab exercises. I think that is the most ridiculous thing you could probably do. What I would do, what is a smart thing to do, is just to say to diet longer while maintaining a weight training program, making sure you're adding cardio in, just to burn maybe more calories if necessary. If you're losing weight, like the way I look at it is, if you're still losing weight in a weight training program, between like 1 and 2 pounds a week, then there's no need to add a ton of cardio. And I would only add it in as a kind of supplementary thing once you're stalling from not losing weight, just by doing weight training and diet. So again, I would never give a client a ton of ab exercises to lower the fat on their stomach, for example, or I would give them push-ups to lose fat on their chest. You're building muscle in the area, but what it comes down to is being in a calorie deficit. And for your stubborn areas specifically, if you're trying to lower your fat in them areas, it's just a case of dieting longer while maintaining your training program. So again, it usually just takes a lot longer than what most people think to get rid of that fat off the stubborn area, usually their stomach or their face or handle, whatever it is. So again, it's literally just a case of extending the dieting period, more so than what most people think. In a healthy way, that you're losing between 1 and 2 pounds a week, maybe in the last stages of your dieting program, maybe reducing it to maybe like a pound a week or something like that, just to make sure you're maintaining your muscle mass and stuff like that. So I hope that makes sense. And this whole mythology around spot fat reduction really needs to be cleared up, and a lot more people need to be aware of it, because you could end up training. The only reason I mention it is I think a lot of times people, they overtrain, like for example, not overtrain, but they overindulge on ab workouts and abdominal workouts, which, are 2-3 hours long, where they'd be probably better off maybe doing some cardio instead, or doing an actual full body workout or something like that, where you're actually burning more calories as well. The abs are such a small muscle group, like compared to your quads, for example, they're half your body. You burn a tremendous amount from training your legs. And, like your back and chest and shoulders, these are more bigger muscle groups than your abdominals, so you'd be better off training them. Or doing some kind of intense cardio for, not as long as well. You're not, one, going to be burning that many calories, and two, again, you're not melting fat off that area, so you should use your time more productively. And, people need to be more conscious of it. When you're losing weight, you have no conscious control of where you're losing the fat. You will gradually lose it wherever the body sees best from. And if it means that your stubborn areas just take longer, then it just means extending the dieting period while maintaining your weight training program. So hope that makes sense. Hope you guys have enjoyed that video. Any questions, comment below. I am taking on some more online personal training clients at the moment, and my mission is to teach people how to teach themselves how to get in the best shape of their life in half the time, and done in the most enjoyable way possible. So if that's for you, then message me on Facebook, message me on YouTube, or if you've got any questions, feel free to message me any of the social media channels I've linked in the description. And if you are interested, if I'm a good fit for you, you're a good fit for me, I'll organise a free 20-minute consultation. You can discuss any kind of goal you have, and I'll tell you what I can offer you. So if that's for you, give us a message, and have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much.